अच्छा, ऐसा नहीं हो सकता कि ये फुल स्क्रीन रहे फिर कभी उस पे चला जाए? स्टार्ट करें। Good afternoon to all, my dear friends, students. I am Dr. Ajay, Senior Associate Professor, Mechanical Engineering Department, and also the Program Director for PG programs at School of Engineering, University of Petroleum and Energy Studies. Nice to have you all here today. We would like to discuss few programs uh, which we have and which are important for you to make decisions. But before we start, let me take you through the small journey of UPES in a very fast pace. I'll just let you what UPS is and how it came into existence and what all things we are doing in this sphere of education and transforming the current youth and future youth of this country. We started in 2003. The first law school got established uh, at UPS in 2006. We started forging collaboration with IBM in 2010, and we started looking beyond the petroleum programs in 2011. School of Design was started in 2013, and today, in 2017 and beyond, we have two campuses, 45 acres of space, 80 plus programs, 100 plus labs, 12,000 students, and 540 plus faculty members working day and night to, to be a nation builder. So, this has been our journey in short. Today, UPS is five schools, and if you look at the details of those schools, School of Engineering has got eight departments, 14 programs, 4,500 plus students, 270 plus faculty members, and 16 student chapters in different departments of the School of Engineering of UPES. This I will go fast because I hope you are clear on that front. Eligibility criteria of getting into the University of Petroleum and Energy Study. There's an exam pathway which fills around 80% of the seat, and then there is a non-exam pathway up to 20% of the seats are filled through that, and then there is a second category in the non-exam pathway which is the JE main score, and beyond 70 we take admissions directly. We have very strong academic and industry collaborations nationally, internationally, and we have signed certain MOUs with these institutions who help us in delivering the program better with a authentic seal on us. So we have as many as 16 national collaborators, 21 international collaborators, and with 14 we have memorandum of understanding where they are helping student, faculty, and we are also helping them solve some of the problems which are coming to them. We have strong collaborations with the industries, top industries, and we have also accreditations from the academic institutions uh, like Energy Institute, and beyond that we have collaborations with L&T, Cisco, Philips Carbon Black, in different areas, and they are actually imparting their experience which they have from the field to the students so that they can do well in their areas. L&T is doing great work in the area of civil and construction, so they're helping us in that. Cisco is helping us in the electronics area, and Philips Carbon Black is helping us in mechanical materials and the chemical engineering area. Engineering, we all know, is a area where there are great opportunities, and people have been building their careers around that. It's a well-respected profession with a lot of opportunities, and well-paying profession with a lot of opportunities, and it invites to the creative mind the challenge and creativity, and these are making the engineering field a very lucrative one, and the people are looking engineering for their career advancements. Uh, Not to tell you much about this, but we know that there are many engineering branches which are operating in different areas. As many as you name any alphabet, and then there is an engineering branch after that. What I've done is I've put around 36 branch in this particular three columns, and you can see that these are the different areas, and beyond that also, many more beyond that, where we have engineering graduation programs at different places in the university. Out of these, there are many which are doing very well. There are few which has been taken up by the other areas, and therefore this movement from or transformation from one to the other keeps on happening. And based on that, we have the current practices and current trends, and then on the basis of the current trends, we can decide what branch and what area to focus upon. So choosing the right program out of this is definitely a tough task, but it is going to be a throughout the life career program. So you need to be very cautious and careful and selective when you are taking a particular program, because this is where you will have to work upon in the time to come. And then if you have taken that nicely, then definitely you will do very good in that area. So the question which bogs most of the minds is which engineering stream, and there will be a lot of people explaining you this is the area where you should go, and this is not the area where you should go. But then you'll have to see what is the instinct which is driving the whole thing, and then based on that instinct in you, you should take a decision. So you should look at the scope in the future, assurance, and the kind of career opportunities which you have in that. And obviously, it should also be based on the changing ecosystem of the engineering areas, of the engineering and the playing field. And therefore, based on these futuristic thing, and also on your personal abilities and traits and motivations and inspirations and interest, you should look at the program where you should pursue your career. Few engineering disciplines, I would say, which are going to be very, very significantly contributing in the area of design, in the area of production, in the area of manufacturing, in the area of integration of services, in the area of humankind. So I would say petroleum, renewable energy, civil engineering, hydraulic engineering, mechatronics, electronics and communication, petroleum related fields like geoengineering and health safety engineering. So these are the areas where you should look for the career. You should also Google and look at the prospects of particular stream, and then decide on the basis of that. Obviously, as a student, it appears to everybody's mind that what is the opportunities I'm going to get in the time to come, and based on those opportunities, your decisions are going to be based. So, some of the quotes which I was also looking at the Quora and Facebook, and I just researched something on that, and I found that it's largely the uh, prospects driven decision which you make while selecting a particular program. And therefore you should look at those things, and at UPES we are doing everything. We are seeing that the placements are good, and we are designing the programs which are contemporary and which has future scope, good future scope, and therefore that you can leave that part to us, and we have been doing well on that front. So you can also refer to the websites, and you can see how we have been doing in these areas, and based on that you can take some decisions. The other thing is the critical thinking and the bent of mind, which is going to be very important when you take a decision of this kind. So you should see what is the kind of innovation you can do in that area, what is the kind of aptitude you have in that area. So not only the placements are important, but also the possibility of your contributing to that field is important, and therefore you should see how you can contribute to that area and how you can build a strong career in that area, right? So some of the names I have mentioned here, where the future programs are going to be there, and you have to see. One punchline I would say at the end: the time coming will have a lot of multidisciplinary element in every area. People don't want more workers in that line. They want smart workers in that line, and then therefore the number of skills which you should have will be very important, because that is how you are going to be picked up among the lot, and therefore you should see where the multidisciplinary things are coming up, and you should also look at those programs. Uh, we have 14 programs at University of Petroleum School of Engineering, and I have done some color coding. You can see in the slide. First five programs like Applied Petroleum Engineering with upstream, Applied Petroleum Engineering with specialization in gas, Chemical Engineering with specialization in refining and petrochemical, Geoscience Engineering, Geoinformatics. These are all petroleum and fossil fuel related areas, minerals related area, where a lot of work is being done, because ultimately we are too much dependent on the petroleum. We are too much dependent on the minerals and everything. The whole lifestyle is dictating the kind of quarrying and mining we should do in different area. So these are the area which are so lucrative, and therefore we have programs offered in those areas. The second set of programs you can see from 6 to 10 is another set, I would say, segment of area where you have the programs, and we also have the programs. So mechanical engineering, mechatronics engineering, automotive design engineering, aerospace engineering, aerospace with avionics. These are all in the background of mechanical engineering, or power, energy consuming systems, efficient systems, and transportation segment related areas where we have programs. And the third category is electronics and communication and electrical engineering, which are close to each other, but then the range of power which we discuss in these streams are different. When we talk about micro volts, we have electronics and communication. When we talk about the mega watts, and all those terms are used, we have generation, and we have distribution, all those things coming up. So electrical engineering is one of those areas. The fourth category of the program is the programs which are related to the infrastructure development and taking care of the infrastructure which we have in different segments. So civil engineering with specialization in infrastructure development is talking about all those things. And the fire safety engineering is how do we take care of what we have, and that not be lost just because of the negligence and not taking care of that area. So that's something related to the aspects of the health, safety, and environment, and also security of the facilities which we have created for the humankind. So, the futuristic courses of engineering and the career opportunities, I'll brief you in a fast way. We have petroleum, earth science, chemical, geoscience, geoinformatics area, where we have a lot of opportunities, because petroleum engineering is concerned with activities related to production of hydrocarbon, which can be either crude or natural gas. The business of bringing the hydrocarbon from underground to the surface is called upstream, and the typical careers in that line would be geoscience engineer, geoinformatics engineer, drilling engineer, reservoir engineer, production engineer. Once the hydrocarbon are brought to the surface, they need to be processed into finished product and marketed. So there is a chain of activities in that line, and this part of the business is called as downstream activities. And then there are a lot of activities related to the downstream activities, like city distribution, planner engineer, pipeline transportation engineer, and then petrochemical engineer, process design engineer. There is a significant demand of petroleum and chemical engineer with domain knowledge in software as well. So we have now new programs coming up like oil and gas informatics in the computer section or information technology division, and then also geoinformatics will play will give you some insight on that area. And the typical carriers in that line is domain specialist, geopositioning engineer, getting the data and then doing the analysis of that data, something called as big data, which is going to be a new future uh, fuel, and then modeling and simulation engineer, which will be also doing a lot of activities with a lot of data which are important to be processed before the exploration and all those things are done. The second segment I would say is electrical and electronics and communication area. So electrical engineering is a engineering discipline that generally deals with generation, transmission, distribution, and utilization of electricity, and typical careers in the conventional power system as well as in unconventional areas like electric vehicle, solar, and other renewable, smart grid, kind of thing. And then India, you see, is the second largest telecommunication market and has third highest number of internet user in the world, and that's growing. Apart from that, electronics manufacturing India has seen a rise in the recent past. Although that's a little challenging area, but then still manufacturing is also picking up, and then it's more a strategic decision than just uh, just putting a facility. So an area where a lot of things are coming up. So IoT, which is Internet of Thing, broadband, 4G, 5G is also being heard now. Embedded system and digital signal processing, artificial intelligence, then electronics, design and automation. These are all areas which are coming up in the electronics and electrical related field. Then we have mechanical, automotive design, and mechatronics engineering. So mechanical is a conventional program, and then automotive design focuses more on the design aspect of the engine. It may be related to the chassis design, it may be related to the engine design, exterior, interior, styling, etc. So those all things are very much part of the automotive section. So anybody creative can look at this particular field. Mechanical is a conventional area where we talk about manufacturing, we talk about power, we talk about energy, we talk about industrial practices, we talk about managing the manufacturing, we talk about design. All those aspects are so important in the mechanical engineering. Those are also important in the automotive and mechatronics, but the percentage of these elements is varying in all these areas. There are different areas like automobile and iron and steel and energy where the careers can be built. So engineering design services, manufacturing of machines and machine parts, computer and electronic product manufacturing, automotive engineers will be very much there. Mechatronics is an emerging engineering that combines the knowledge of computer science, that combines the knowledge of electrical, mechanical, electronics, and with the control shifting more towards the electronic side, manual things are moving away. So we have a lot of this electronic things coming in almost every appliance, every area. People don't want to work; they just want to press the button for the things to happen, and therefore this is bound to grow, and nobody can stop it because people are becoming lethargic and so we need to take the help of robots and systems and practices where we can build on and still have a good life, right? So industrial automation is one great area. Robotics is another very fascinating area in the recent part. I hope you all would have seen the Sophia, the talking robot, and the social robot, which has been developed in the recent past. The other area for you should see is the aerospace and avionics engineering, and India, which is becoming a great market for the uh, air commodities. We need to have the systems to manufacture. We need to have the system to operate. the airlines properly. We need to have the system to navigate. We need to have systems which is taking care of all facets of the aerospace, and also with the warfare kind of things. This is also becoming a great area, and it's a fascinating area for most of the students, and they're looking at it. And India, being a cheap labor country, will see the rise of the high cost manufacturing equipment. So when you cannot reduce the cost of the equipments put on the plane, you can only play with the labor part, and then that is why India is bound to see a surge in this area. And there are good career opportunities and avenues like aircraft design and analysis engineer, aerospace modeling and simulation, air defense system engineer, aircraft maintenance engineer, satellite and space system engineering, avionics and design engineering. And this demand is going up every day, and therefore this is another area where you should look for. Civil engineering, we know India. If I have to ask you a question, that what is the tallest building in India, and where does it stand globally? You can very easily say that India does not have built those kind of abilities to build mega structure, and doesn't have those capabilities to build high-rise buildings, great efficient high-rise building. And with the facade coming into picture, and all those heat transfer with high-rise building coming into picture, you can see that this is a very, very challenging area. And I would say till India becomes something like America, and the cities become something like smart cities and efficient cities, we have great potential in this area. I have put a lot of facts and figures in this area, and India is pursuing all those things with 100 smart cities in the time to come. And when you have those kind of nucleuses built, you see the growth around all those nucleuses, and a lot of job creation is bound to happen if that is the scenario. So India has a very, very aggressive mindset as far as the civil engineering and construction related areas are concerned, and definitely it is going to be a very, very important area in the time to come. The other area, as I was discussing, is going to be a fire and safety engineering, because we need to take care of what we have, and we also need to parallelly work on building great things. So fire and safety engineering is there, and it has been mandated that we must have fire and safety engineer in almost every industry, and places where a lot of workers are there. So much so that it is said that every apartment, every building which is having more than 100 occupancy must have a fire and safety engineer. So that is also area where a lot of things will be coming up. So the typical careers would be managing the fire and safety officer, industrial fire and safety engineer, oil, health and safety and environment engineer. So these are the areas where you should look at the future prospects and career opportunities. Uh, Hearing from the departments, I have put some slides on the package of practices which are adopted by these departments, and some information related to these departments, the laurels they have won, the practices which they have. So, looking at the civil engineering, the package of practices is a set of things which I am offering as a department, which can narrate something about the kind of things which we have. So, the program information is we are offering civil engineering with infrastructure. So, you can see that these are the career opportunities which you have. So, structural engineer, highway and road, dams and hydraulic engineering, geotechnicians, railway, construction, project management, environmental engineering, consultancy work, design consultant, oil and gas geomatics, and metro We have the most efficient metro, by the way, in the world. So these are the areas where you can work. The high-rise building, which I have been talking about, which is not mentioned here, mega structures, mega dams. We have not initiated things on that. You guys can come and do things around it. The kind of things which we try to have some input from the industry, because ultimately the graduates need to find an industry to practice and engineer what they have learned, and therefore we have this practice of building collaborations with industry. So we have signed an MOU with L&T and ECC, and the students get the internship opportunity with this thing, and they're also focusing on certain areas and delivering the lectures on those areas. For example, where these industries are having great expertise like concrete technology, geomatics, construction, planning, management, project management, design of form work, advanced construction techniques, the composites structures, and all those there. So we have certain pictures related to that, showing that we go to these places and look at the practices which they are following. Uh, we have also some foreign collaborations with the great places like University of Akron, USA. Student exchange programs has been designed so that we can appreciate the practices which are being followed at places. Research projects are also. So we also try to see that how good we are internationally, and therefore set some benchmark and improve on the practices so that we can deliver the best program. So we also do this alumni interaction to understand what they have faced when they actually went to the job. So the great things which they have come back and said is, we have been doing nice, we have delivered nice program to them, and then they could very easily adapt to the industrial requirements. And some of the feedbacks which they have shared. So we have a great list just to put a few where all they have gone and what they have achieved. We have great faculty strength here. We have great knowledge pool. People working in different areas like structural engineering, highway engineering, steel structures, concrete structures, water resource engineering, structural engineering, project management, environmental engineering, fluidics, hydraulics, water resource management, etc. So these are the things which we keep. We have focus area, resource pool, who can deliver nice programs. Some of the glimpse of the labs which we have. So we have good facility in the lab. Outside the lab also we practice a lot of things. We take them to field visits where they do all those surveying and all those kind of things. And a lot of activities are being organized by the students. And it's a great happening environment and ecosystem in the university, where the student will have a lot of those lifelong learning opportunities, and they can try and exercise things which can really make them great engineers in the time to come, right? So so some of the things which I was just saying: survey camps, industrial tour, internship at the industry, and some of the companies who have come and recruited people, and where our alumni is working. So you can see there is a pan and across industry presence of our student uh, in the country. The second is the is offered by the Department of Mechanical Engineering, which is mechatronics engineering, and we can see the package of practices which are offered by these by this department. So in mechatronics we have Center of Excellence, and we have forged collaborations with giants like Bosch, Rexroth, who are great people in the automation. They have done a lot of research and built a lot of systems which are working, and then you can come and practice on those systems. So there are a lot of things related to the pneumatics things, sensoric, hydraulic modules, PLC. So we can offer trainings on those modules, and the hands-on experience will give you great idea about the about the actual systems which are there in the industry. So automation is quite consuming area, and then you must have the facilities so that you can see all those things happening in front of you. Otherwise, it is all in the circuits and programs, and you cannot appreciate that thing. So we need to have these kind of center of excellences and the industry focused training. Like we go to FANUC and where our students do workshop and internship and develop those skills. Uh, some of the interesting subjects which will be consuming you, which will be involving you, the kind of automation principles, the PLC, microcontroller technology, sensor technology, vision techniques, pneumatics, building artificial intelligence. So this vision, pneumatics, hydraulics, embedded system, these are all going to be working something around the artificial intelligence and how do you corroborate and collaborate different senses into a machine and then ask those machines to work for you. Okay, so building on those aspects, you can always look at. So it's a very interesting area. So artificial intelligence is now something which people are talking about, and it's coming with the pace faster than what was initially anticipated by the people, and therefore this is a great area for you to work. Some of the faculty, I'm also part of that. You can see me in the picture, and some of the faculty who has worked on those automation related areas. Uh, the feature, advantage, and benefit of the program is developed in direct response to industrial demand for the engineering. It's a multidisciplinary skill requirement and development program, and then it allows the engineers to design, construct, and run factory and production line, assembly line in the industry. So we have those features, and we build those lifelong learning abilities that we have already discussed about. So some of the benefits which we have derived and which we will be deriving in the time to come is we are cutting edge, better placement possibilities are there. We have created certain followers who have actually started these kind of programs looking at us. And then there is a seeding effect which happens when somebody is knowledgeable on those fronts, how this seed can be given to the different areas, and new multidisciplinary things and multidisciplinary products can be developed and designed. So there is a seeding benefits which we have within the university, within the programs, and also creating followers across the colleges. So some of the students who have done great uh, in this particular program. So Ankit Jain at FANOK, Maruti, Aviva, KPIT, PM Control, and then Nachi, and then for higher education like Coventry and France, and his own startup Anant has done. Uh, the students and alumni are working in different areas and doing great. Some of the industries who has picked our students in these areas, and some of the chapters which we have for the students to work where they showcase their talent and technical and managerial and professional abilities. So we have ASME, we have Ignite, Urja, this Baha competition, ISO, Robo, all these things we have done which are doing great, and the students are participating in these platforms and bringing laurels to the university. The next is about the geoscience program. This is falling into the uh, petroleum division. So geoscience is all about uh, rocks and then minerals and geology and earth. So this is a program dedicated to that area of study. Slightly different from the petroleum sector in the sense that we are also looking at the minerals and not just the petroleum products from underneath the ground. So the programs will have insight on the geological and geophysical modeling, development of GNG database, geotechnical engineering, rock physics, and formation evaluation, integrated petroleum exploration, because the kind of rock will dictate the kind of exploration system which we have for those areas. Uh, it is a multidisciplinary program and up to date, domain specific. We have great faculty, we have great facility, and we provide enough opportunities for students to gain practical experience by taking them to field visits. And the placement has always been a great thing at UPES. More than 90% you can see are placed throughout since the inception of the program. That's a great number which you should be able to appreciate. Major area of concentration, we have exploration geology, and then exploration geophysics, petroleum exploration, rock and rock mechanics, GIS and remote sensing, reservoir and petrophysics, and we have great lab facilities in all these areas. So these are the concentration areas where we are developing, and we are getting enough insight from the industries that these are the areas where the engineers should be trained around. We have great faculty members working in this area continuously. Great student achievement. We have placement in Shell. We have placements in Keynes, ONGC. All those people have been recruiting from us in different point in time, and we have great chapters for the students to participate. The career prospects are too many. Excuse me. So you can become the exploration geoscientist, petroleum geologist, petroleum geophysicist, domain consultant in oil and gas, geotechnical engineer, reservoir geologist, remote sensing and photogrammetric expert, field geologist, GNG data analysis, GIS business analyst, and land surveyors. So great opportunity. Some of the industries and places where our students have found placements: Shell, Cybertech, Infosys, Wipro, ESRI India, Tech Mahindra, Tata Consultancy Services, CGI, and all those places. You can always contact the department for more details related to courses which I have discussed here, concentration area which I have discussed here, and they will be giving you more insight if you still have something. Although I've tried my level best. Geoinformatics engineering, the package of practice is uh, the program will include geospatial analysis and modeling, development of geospatial database, information system design, human computer interaction, wired and wireless networking technology. So it is about data which gets generated while doing the upstream activities or downstream activities, and also exploration related things. While drilling also we have a lot of data, and those data needs to be processed to have a insightful assessment of the techniques and the changes which we need to do in all those areas. So with the help of this computer, it has become very prominent, and this is something which is very, very specialized, and the students are finding having a bent towards the computer skills, and also looking at the oil and gas programs. They should look at geoinformatics area. The program highlights are uh, we have features, advantages, and benefits around these things, and you can see that it's a multidisciplinary program, more than 90% placement, and the advantages: it's a cutting edge, new program, better team and knowledge integration possibility because you're working in team and also with the system. Be a part of the field that is expanding at a rapid pace, and as more and more industries are employing the spatial data to manage their activities. So these are the features, advantages, and benefits which we have for these programs. And the concentration area is remote sensing, GIS, spatial database system, GPS and satellite navigation, and digital photogrammetry, and geoscience. And we are working on those areas. We have labs built around these areas, and faculty working hard on those this area, updating and creating a knowledge pool. A lot of student achievement, some of these startups, and our students have done well in many competitions which we normally participate, which includes all kind of activities like writing programs and codes and building drones and for spatial positioning, all those things which we are doing has helped student achieve in a very focused niche area. So the career prospects would be GIS engineer, GIS data specialist, digital cartographer, GIS mapping technicians, and these are all finding a lot of opportunities in foreign country as well. Just to give you a hint on that. So these are great areas to work, and we have faculty with background in industry and those who have worked on those foreign assignments and in the country assignment, and they can train you on those areas. The recruiters has been the ESRI, Cybertech, TCS, Tech Mahindra, Wipro, Infosys, uh, Infinium, and all those. So these are all domain-focused recruiters. The faculty we have already discussed, so it's a part of the petroleum engineering stream, and you can always contact the department, as I said, for more details. The next program is about BTech Fire and Safety Engineering. This is a unique program, and we have actually created followers in this area. This is first university in Pan Asia to offer this course. Excellent industry tie-ups are there, and we are doing a lot of programs for the people in the industry. So andrology is also happening at the same time, and then we have started offering the programs at UG level. Uh, uh, Excellent placement support, five-star QS rating for employability. That has been one of the area for almost every stream here. Conducive environment, one of the most beautiful campuses. Placement record is just like it's like a rocket, 100% all the time. And new sectors also opening, the private sector and as well as the government is being mandated. So great opportunities in government as well as in the private sector, and we have great faculty working in that area, and some of the major recruiters we can see. So the program is good. These are some of the features. We do a lot of internship support for the students. We see that every student is being given a place internship from the university so that they are working on a specified topic and area in the HSC. So that has been one of the benchmark which we have been setting. Few interesting program which is based on safety, first aid and emergency procedures, fire engineering, chemical process safety, engineering, and industrial visits and some internship, fire engineering lab, hazard identification, and computer-aided risk analysis, major project. So thrust area is safety inspection, principles and codes, practice sessions on different fire scenarios, opportunity to utilize and build upon the theoretical and empirical knowledge gained during the academic sessions. Uh, the fab of uh, the program. This is about the program information. So Center of Excellence, we have NABL accredited lab facilities. We have a fire ground, fire training ground, and we have collaborations with ABB and Reliance. Reliance has been a regular recruiter from the university, and especially on this program. And we have a very interactive session with the students, and we try to develop those kind of systems where people are actually encouraged. The students are encouraged to have those kind of discussions and things. The next department we have is electronics and communication engineering. This is also a great department in the School of Engineering of UPES, and some of the core subjects as digital electronics, electronic design, devices and circuit signals and system, digital signal processing, analog and digital communication. Advanced subjects can be taken from embedded system, image processing, wireless communication, VLSI, satellite communication, smart antenna, IoT is coming out. We have a unique practice called as PEST. So this is a software training related program. Domain specific professional softwares. We train our students on that, and then the kind of uh, performance they have delivered in the industry has been marvelous. And based on the feedback, we have intensified these areas for um, um, uh, to be very important for delivering. And we have a lot of projects which encourages the students, like RISE is one where the students can get the grant from the university for carrying out their um, or trying their idea at university's cost, right? So program information, we have some collaborations with Cisco, KPIT, the same Bosch Rexroth Center of Excellence. So a lot of things as related to the electronics. So sensorics, and if you look at the pneumatics and all those things, ultimately these are all being controlled by the electronic systems, and therefore great place to work for the students. We are looking at certain more collaborations like Intel, National Instrumentation Laboratory, BSNL, Unisys, Advanced Technologies, and Center of Advanced Research in Electronics CARE, which is at IIT Delhi. So we are trying some collaborations, and we have some collaborations, and we're also trying some collaborations with foreign universities like University of Toulouse and University of Johannesburg, South Africa. We have already, I think, the collaborations with the University of Toulouse. We have great faculty members, great strength, and we have a lot of uh, projects funded by DST, AICT, DRDO, ISRO, and the department has published a lot of research paper, 500 plus research paper in different journals, and a lot of patent writing and all those kind of things there. So if you look at the technical prowess and the kind of strength they have, it's commendable with the electronics department. Some of the students' achievement, they have got great awards. So something like 5 lakh rupees for uh, OBDAS, and 1 lakh for competition and association with UCOST, and Laureate Award for Excellence in Robotics, where a lot of countries participated. And there are many more, just to list a few. One of the student journey has been mentioned, where the student has actually worked very hard on those fronts, and he went to Geneva, CERN, for doing his internship, and he is currently with the Delft University of Technology at Denmark. Denmark, right? So he has been one of great students, alumni we have. Some of the statements and feedback from our alumni who has found great places. So just to share a kind of student journey at UPES, I'm putting all those things. So it's a great place where you have great environment, great support, and the ecosystem with the wisdom of the university in different sphere forces you and inculcates those kind of mindset changes, which helps you pursue your area in a more focused and serious way. Placement has been great. These are the list of some of the companies which are coming for program and recruitment. So some of the testimonials of our students who have done great in these placement opportunities. One of the program is petroleum engineering. This, I hope you all, this has been a flagship program, and has been a great attraction for the aspirants. some of the package of practices at those places. This boy is our alumni from UPS, and he has done a great. You can see the smiling face, the kind of happiness which he is expressing. Um, Tremendous, commendable thing, and this is something which you should also look at. Your journey during your making will make a great difference in what you become at the end of the engineering. So this is something which you should see, uh, and you should also look at the areas where you want to work. If you find those areas where you want to work and you work, then you great, then you do great in that area. So obviously, these questions must be asked when you are selecting the program, and we are focusing on these answers, and to answer your questions, we are focusing on the infrastructural fallouts of those questions. Huh? So there is a need for oil and gas, so you'll have to find the oil, you'll have to extract the oil, you'll have to refine the oil, and then you'll have to give it to the world, and then you also need to find out the prices which you should put for these programs, and make the company economically viable and profitable, right? So the job market is quite hot, pay package is excellent, and these graduates are in great demand. Well, it's a tough job, but then it's a great uh, paying area. So you can see, and the kind of speed at which you grow in these industry is exemplary. Nothing like this. In 5 years' time, you become a great man in that area because it's initially a tough life, and then you do great with your experience. The kind of opportunity which you can have. So you can become production engineer, drilling engineer, reservoir engineer, completion engineer, environmental engineer, and many more. And there are certain areas where you can look for your uh, future um, uh, study also. So the placement records has been great, and it's going up year on year. We can see that, and the companies which are coming for recruitment. So here the placement record is for all the programs which are discussed, uh, right from the mechatronics to electronics to fire and safety to geoinformatics, geoscience, and all those. So great opportunities, and we have a increasing placement record year on year, and that too with increasing base size every year. So that's something which you should look at. Some of the testimonials live from the LinkedIn. I hope you all would be making the LinkedIn profile very soon, and you can see these LinkedIn profiles which are suggesting the companies where they're working. For example, Nupur is working at Reliance, Sagarika is working at Weatherford, Amod is working at Weatherford, and the other candidates like Vaibhav Joshi and Slambaja and Vidur Chandra and process engineer at Shell. So these are people. Some of the testimonials. I'm saying some of the. If you look at the placement record, almost everybody is getting a job. You can always contact the department for any more details, and uh, I think that's all from my side. And I would suggest that you make a considered decision. You need to be um, focused. You need to be first mover because there is always a first mover advantage and there is always a last mover disadvantage associated with anything. So you need to decide fast where you want to focus, where you want to work. Take some time, do the research, and then make a decision on that, and bang on and work hard on those areas. So I hope my session was informative for you all, and this will help you in building some of the or answering some of the questions which you might have in your mind, which you might be struggling with. So thank you so much. I am ready to take some of the questions which you want to ask. Uh, so let me just look at some of questions if you have. Sir, is there, so Ajay Vishwakarma is asking, sir, is there any cutoff for upstream UPSET examination? I think I have already discussed about the requirements, the credential requirement to appear for those examination. After the examination is done, you are then being called, you are then called in the order of the merit, and based on the merit, you make a choice in the counseling arena, and after the choice is exercised, you would know whether you're getting a seat or not. So it's a fairly transparent process, and for appearing in the examination, there is a cutoff, but based on the ranks, the selection is done, final selection is done. So that question is null and void. The other question which Ashfaq Ali is asking, please say something about fire and safety. I think I've already discussed a lot about fire and safety engineering. This is a program where almost every student is getting placed, and you see that there is always a requirement. It's like just like your mother taking care of you in your house, and your father taking care of everything be in the house and also beyond that. So there must be people who put the systems in place, who define the procedures, standard operating procedures for doing things in the industry. It's not like that anybody can move from one point to the other in a haphazard way. It's not that anybody can try anything in the industry. You need to have system and security considerations in place, and therefore the fire safety is becoming so important. And I have also discussed with you some of the core area where we focus during the studies, right? So 4 years will be studies, and then you get the opportunities. I hope I have answered those questions. Sarthak Sasdeva, which petroleum course holds the highest market value? Uh, which petroleum course holds the highest market value? Now, I would answer this question. It's not the course which holds the highest market value, it is the candidate which holds the highest market value. You can see, look at the kind of placements which are happening around you in different institutions, IITs, NITs, some private institutions as well, where the companies who come, they look at the credential and the innovative bent and the creativity of the candidate and not the program, and then they get the highest packages. So packages are definitely related to the programs, but then it depends on the ability of the candidate to what height you can rise. And if I have to say one line about all these things, you can only rise as high as the programs will allow you to. So if that is to be understood here, I would say petroleum sector companies are offering good packages as high as 32 lakhs, and in some of the IITs as high as 25, 26 lakhs. And our students from petroleum engineering, our students from geoinformatics, our students from geoscience, they have all been able to bag those high figures, right? So it's not course specific, it's more about your own abilities. Uh, Plus the course to some extent. Okay, anybody else having any question? I see no more questions now. Thank you, Ashfaq. Thank you for asking the question. Thank you. Ashfaq is again asking, oh, sorry, this is Sarthak. Which is more beneficial, taking oil and gas informatics under CS or petroleum engineering with specialization in gas stream? Now, this is a very tricky question, Sarthak, and you have to answer this because I can see your name only right now. You know yourself much better deep. You have to see whether your inclination towards computer related program is more or the oil and gas related program is more. Because when you say CS oil and gas informatics, the in the heart of the program it is the computer science engineering. And when you say oil and CS or petroleum engineering program, in the heart, it is basically the petroleum engineering program, and then giving some specialization on the computer sciences application in that area. So look at your own inclination. If you are more a computer guy, go for CS, oil and gas informatics. If you are basically a petroleum and all those kind of studies are fascinating you, go for the petroleum engineering program with specialization in upstream activities. Right? So I hope I answered your question. Ashfaq is again asking something. Best branch to opt in your college. We have all these programs quite domain specific. Okay, so all these programs are top programs in the area in which they're offered. So all programs are good if you ask me. Now you have to see your own inclination and decide on the basis of that. Do some market survey and based on that take a particular program. Do your own survey and take a program. I hope that answers your question. So I'm still okay. I can take few questions in 2 3 minutes if you have. I'm waiting here, and beyond that, I'll take your leave. I'm waiting for your questions. Anyone else uh, willing to ask something can ask. I'll look at the watch and then I'll stay here for 1 more minute. So thank you so much, Sarthak, Ashfaq, and all those who are watching me. You can always look at it. You can always suggest it to your friends to uh, see it, and if it can help them, I would be very happy. Huh?